Oh, fun. I've had some crazy experiences, okay? I have a very powerful presence, and I know that there will be no transference. I set my boundaries before I even walk in the room. Like, I have my energetic shields up, like I set the space for healing to take place. So, but there are those really certain clients that are just so disconnected, and they come in and they're just such in a disrespectful state of being that they have no respect. The fact that I've done over 3,000 of hours of training, that's just for massage. It's like I've done thousands of hours not to do any sort of sexual act. It's almost like a slap in the face. And I've cut services like that. Like, sir, the service is over, or ma'am. Like, I've had equal amount, like women and men have come on to me, and the first thing I do is say, I'm going to step out the room. I'm going to let you get dressed. The service is over. Just like that. In a very calm way. I'm not starting anything. But I also know, and I'm very firm in my energy, that I can de-escalate a lot as well. Sometimes people need that firm no, because I don't want to demonize them, because they are people that probably have not been touched, or they're people that just need the touch. And I understand that when you're in that state and you're touching, and we are physical beings, that we crave to be caressed, and I can understand we're in that moment and they're feeling relaxed. All of a sudden they can go into that mind state where it turns sexual for them. Even though the therapist can be in a very clear state, like, I'm doing this, it's body work, I know my intentions, I'm working the muscles, I'm looking at the fascia, I'm watching the joints. That person still could be laying there like, oh my God, they're touching me right next to my glute. Oh. I wonder if I just try to show them my privates. Maybe they'll, and they're in that moment, and you can't blame them either. But the thing is to, again, be very calm and let them know, like, this is it, this is over. And I can explain afterwards. When you're fully clothed again, when I'm feeling safe. Because this whole service is not just about you. It's about me as well. How am I feeling? How am I holding up? How is my breathing? Do I feel safe here? Are they taking it? Are they laying there? Are they receiving in a respectful way? Because that's, I think, a lot of massage therapists do put themselves, in positions where a client has crossed the line and they continue on in a state of, I should end it the whole time, right?
Right.
So that's one of the subjects that's most taboo, but at the same time is one of the most needed to be addressed, is when these things happen, because they do. Erections are common, and it's not even sexual. It comes from just the blood flow, the increase of blood to that zone, and all of a sudden, yes, there will be an engorgement. Is that a word?
It is now.
Okay. All those naughty novels
It's
are going
our
out.
word.
No, I don't know.
Oh, it's a therapist word.
I don't know.
You just said a therapist word.
Just like melanated.
Yes, there you
That's
go.
not a word either.
You
Okay,
got it.
people.
But we all know.
All of us indigenous people.
We are.
Excuse
just-
me.
yeah,
Okay.
But no, you're
Back to the.
yes, and you're exactly right about the blood flow and
Yeah.
things happen down there. We all know. And I told one of my students one time, I was like, well, think about it. If women had something that gave a warning for their their arousal, and like say your face turned blue or your nails or something, then we would know. Would we still go complain? But I'm like, no, that's just she's aroused. She's turning that color for a reason, or I know she's coming off. Like, a lot of women can actually have a climax from touch.
Yeah.
And some men that'll freak out, or some female client or therapist will freak out as well. And so I'm glad, and it's much needed support in that area, because like you said, yeah, we don't talk about it as much. It's always taboo. It's
Yeah.
against the rules. It's in the books of the Susan Salvo book, but never really fully explained.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And some therapists are going to run across this. No therapist is immune to any of these advances, sexual wantings of another therapist or person. That's going to happen regardless. It's just human nature. But if they cross the line on them, like what happens if you're on your own practice and you're out at this guy's house or at this young lady's house, and they want a happy meal or a happy ending? What do you do to protect yourself in that instance? Do you just still walk out?
I've actually had that happen with a private client of mine. And again, it's all about your communication and your intention. You know, it's the stabilizing the situation in a way where it's like, okay, I understand, but this is not allowed. I can continue on with this service, you know. Otherwise, if this continues, I'm uncomfortable and I will leave.
There you go.
You know, and it's in a very gentle way. Again, it's not about making them feel embarrassed or ashamed. It's about like, hey, I get it. You know, but that's not what I do, right? You know, I mean, there's people out there. That's just not me, you know? And I know that it happens all the time. And that's for them and whoever situation is out there, right? So if that's what they want, they will, like, you know, attract that. But to me, it's, you can stand firm and people will respect that. And it's almost like, oh, sorry. You know, and it's like, it's okay, I got it, you know. But I think, again, it's all about intention as well. I know a lot of times I've had people where I've got that vibe. And it's like, I'm going to be very, very, very clear on my communication. When it comes to this zone, right? Are we going to be covered, uncovered? You know, like, I'm always going to have you draped here. Go to your level of comfort, but just know you will always be covered here for my safety. Okay, because you can want to lay there naked, you can do whatever you want, right? But for my comfort, I'm going to have you covered, okay? For my peace of mind. You know, I understand that this is a massage and you want full body. That's beautiful. I'm not your therapist then. And people, at the end of the day, I'm always looking for respect. I give respect. I demand respect. It's because I've earned it. I walk in that truth. So I know that as long as I say, hey, clear cut, no, we're good. So I don't have any problems.
1,000%.
Top notch.
Billion %.
Yes.
Top marks, as they say in England. Cheerio.
Oh.
Okay, so. Oh no, I can't ask that. I already asked that. So in these incidents that normally happen, if a guy or a creeper is what some people call them, and they get a little aroused and they want you to go lower, or I don't know what they want you to do, but some sort of act that gets them off. But is it always guys that do that? In your training and experience?
I'd actually say that women have been more forthcoming in their dances. Men have been more vulgar and frank about it. There's a difference, you know. But again, men are taken by force and women are more gentle and, you know, rub your leg. You know, men are like grab or expose and it's like, whoa, you know. I have to like really force the brakes to de-escalate this, right?
Right.
Whereas with a woman is more suggestive, it's like, no, I'm just going to tuck you in a little tighter. You want to expose yourself? I'm going to just shove that sheet under there. You know, because you can make it very clear to people. And sometimes it's always okay to let people know your boundaries. It's my bubble.
That's right.
Stay out. Yeah.
Well, because in this business, it is a business to where you're making somebody feel so damn good that their mind is like in another world that they've never been in, or maybe they haven't been in a long time because they've been married for 30, 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, I got that old thing back. Like, I've been looking for this forever.
Oh.
And now that you're giving it to them, is it their fault that they feel aroused, or is it just human nature? Or because there's a lot of therapists who wouldn't think like you're thinking or I'm thinking. They would really take this as an offense. Like, hey, I need to call the police. Oh, I need to, I don't know, wear body armor to the massage room or something crazy where they lose their damn minds. And so that's the only reason why I keep bringing up certain happy endings and arousal moments in these videos, because it's going to happen. And there's some students of mine who keep debating me for some stupid reason, like I don't have 16 years in massage therapy, and they'll still tell me this is never going to happen to them. I wouldn't put myself in this position. Like, no.
It happened with me within week 1. Within like the first week of like officially having my books open, working in the actual massage world, it happened fast. And the first time it was like, whoa, you know. And it's, again, the one thing that we need to honestly understand is when you get into that, like you really are in like this dreamy state. You're in that parasympathetic state where everything is slowed down, you're relaxed. You really are like, you know? And you have someone that's literally taken you to that state. And in itself, ultimately, that's what we want.
That's right.
And it feels good and it feels right, because our bodies are meant to be celebrated. We're meant to be touched. And I think the way that pornography and the media and movies now is disconnected us from the art of truly connecting with the body and listening to the body and feeling the body, and like really, massage therapists, most of them have that gift. And when people feel that, all of a sudden they can think of it, and again, misinterpret that as something deeper, as something more, oh, this person gets me. And that's why a lot of times, clients can fall absolutely head over heels in love or in their make-believe lust with their therapist, because they're getting that attention, or they're literally laying there and taking it. And again, as humans, who doesn't want to be just worshipped without having to do anything? I know as a woman, that's, you know, it's like, hey, it's my temple, you know, worship here. And I could see that when you're on the table and you haven't been touched in a very long time, you're going to go into that state where, yes, I want more, yes, keep doing it, yes, you know, but that's up to the therapist now to bring it back to that safe place.
That's right.
Where I know what's going on right now, but this is our safe zone, and we are going to stay in our lane. Okay?
That's right, because most of those clients there, like you said, are going through a divorce, which is very terrible. It was wicked. It was something that you can't even fathom, but they're going through a very hard time. And you have to have compassion for your clients, like Autumn just said, and tell them no with intention, a nice no, but it will still be no. And a lot of therapists, I guess they haven't learned that lesson, and so they either walk out of the room, storm out, get the person in trouble, the client in trouble, or the reverse, the client gets the therapist in trouble. You should have just ended it and walked out of the room. As easy as that sounds, sometimes it's actually is that easy if you have the right mindset. You can actually walk away, and that took me a while to understand. I know because I'm a guy, I'm not blaming all guys, but we don't understand, we don't have a deeper understanding that you just explained. Like, no, tuck the person in a little bit harder. That's kind of a no.
Let them know.
A physical no. Yeah, you got to give them a physical no by tucking them in. And then you verbally said it, so you said it twice, and you documented it on your soap notes. And it's just amazing how you explained it.
It really does come down to just intention, clear communication. And that's why I think the intake is very important. And when it comes to, because people want, you know, if people want, I've had ladies that want their breasts massaged, you know, and that again is where you have it in writing, you know, and it's Okay, I am working the muscles, you know, and like again, our heart chakra is right there. So this is an energetic space that can become very clogged and very like thick and heavy almost. And when you have a good worker, a body worker, energy worker in there, they can really clear that away and touch the body in a respectful way without it being sexual. So now if you have clear communication and when you're writing in your intake and the therapist is like, okay, do you want to be draped or undraped? So now you know, so they're not feeling like unsure. You're not feeling unsure. You both know. That's why whenever I do my intake now, it's, do you know, even down to the glutes, which are very commonly asked to be worked on. I ask, do you want to be worked on top of the sheets? Do you want to be worked through underneath the sheets where you're draped, right? What is your level of comfort? And then I will let you know my level of comfort and where we meet, right? That way, before I even lay hands on, it's a very clear understanding of what parts they want touched and how they will be massaged. That way, it's almost like they know that when I get to that area, what is to be expected, and they can relax more. Yes. You know, because I know like some people are very, it's like I can sense them tense the whole time. And it's like, okay, well, I don't want you, don't move my leg, don't move my, oh no. And it's like, lady or gentleman, they're just, you're gonna be covered the whole time, just let me get your arm. You know, it's like they're so just stuck, like, oh my God. And it's like, okay, if I would have said you're draped the whole time, you will never once be exposed. You won't even feel a draft. You're gonna be great, you know?